Welcome everyone to the Goddess Temple. My name is Chris, and I'm gonna get into it right now with this card reading. I feel like there is just something that's just been really calling at me, and it just feels so important. It feels important to the extent that it's just exciting. It's so exciting to be reading this, be having this, and whichever season of life that you're in, whichever place that you're in right now, I feel like this time, this moment, it's really highlighting the abundance that you get to be in, the abundance that you get to live in, and the fact that you're stepping into this new life, this new way of being, this new way of existing, this new way of becoming more in alignment to you. And so let's see what Source has, what Goddess has, that wants to come through and break down really what's here for you present. And I feel like whoever this is, whoever's watching this, listening to this, it's going to touch on things about your current experience or things that you have experienced that just were either not resolved in any way, and they just, you had to either put a pause to it or continue on to um, deal with it later on in your life, just because you just didn't know where to go with it and how to address it in the way that you thought you knew. And so let's see what card wants to come through and address this sticky situation, right? Um, and what I feel like is you've tried to do something and you put a pause on it. So, for example, you may have tried to start a new relationship and you've spoken to a few people, and some were able to keep up and others weren't. Others just weren't able to come along the journey with you. And then you also notice that you gave some people some excuses and you let them go, you let them be, you let them do whatever it is that they were doing, and you let it slide. And then you're like, you know what? Nah, it ain't. This person isn't available and ready for this situation like they said they would be. Something's holding them back. And to be honest, I'm not in a place to tolerate any of that anymore. It's, you're either available right now, and if you're not, that's perfectly fine. I'm just gonna keep going down my merry way and have the experience in the life that I know I deserve and I'm here for. And so there's another little face, uh, a part that I want to focus on as well. It goes hand in hand with what I just said, but at the same time, please don't take it in a sense of it discrediting that sensation, that desire, that um, choice that you've made. It's just that there's this other little component to that where there could be a part that just may not been so receptive. It's more like it comes off this energy of show to me why you deserve to be in my life, why you deserve to be welcomed in, to go on this journey with me. Why should I let you guide me and give me an experience when I am very well capable of giving myself that experience? So please listen to this carefully. This little part is touching on this concept of, are you hyper independent? Because the thing is, this touches on a lot of loneliness, and it's a bit challenging to work with people. You might be put in a situation where you're working together and and you're trying to see what strength someone has and the value that they bring into your life, and is it actually what you need? Does it complement you? How can you actually complement them as well, and put in your um, skill and your ability in this situation as well? So what does that actually look like? You're asking yourself all of these questions. You put in this work into this situation, into this dynamic, or into any and every dynamic, because that's just how you operate. You're like, of course you're gonna operate this way. Of course you are. Of course this is how you feel. And the thing is, not everyone does operate with integrity like that. Some actually sound like they are, but that's the thing. They sound like it. They under they they hear the concept, they love the way it sounds, and they regurgitate it, as opposed to understanding the depth of how to embody it. Don't get me wrong, like I am not a perfect person either. I have done the very same thing. And I continue to catch myself when I've strayed off and when I notice that I'm not being in alignment with what I said that I'll be practicing, with the word that I've given. The lack of integrity, I try my best to structure and to put myself back on track. And the thing is, to what degree have you been not in integrity? To what degree have you been holding yourself back from letting this person, this environment, this situation to teach you, to show you, to give you an experience beyond your wildest imagination? It's one thing to intellectualize and to speak about an experience. It's a whole other it's a whole other game when you feel it. When you go through it, the embodiment of it, the way your body feels, the way it responds, it'll make you take in a deep breath. You will gasp. It can be overwhelming, even if it's something that you wanted, even if it's something that's good. It may make you gasp. To speak from experience, to engage in a dynamic and relationship from experience, that's different. And I am trying my best to keep talking, even though the card does not want to come out. So, I'm just gonna ask again. Goddess, what message do you have? I feel like the message just keeps flowing through my mind instead of coming through with the cards. So I am gonna lean into that a little bit here. So this dynamic and this relationship that you're in, that you're moving through, to what degree has it shaped you? To what degree have you opened yourself up to this dynamic, to this flow of life? To what degree have you showed up with integrity? To what degree have you been blocking and putting up all of these walls and created your own place of comfort and sanctuary, to the point that any little person or thing that comes in, you're instantly on guard, you're instantly protective? And so it can be quite overwhelming at times to let someone in, to let someone through, to see what is happening, to for someone to get to know you in your depths. And to what degree are you actually holding them back at? So what I mean by that is, Why are you holding them back? Is it because you're anticipating another breakup? Are you anticipating things, shit hitting the fan? Are you anticipating the confrontation? Are you anticipating someone crossing a boundary that they may or may not know is even a boundary? Um, are you anticipating someone telling you that, you know what, you need to improve on this little part? And is that why you're holding them back? Is so you can make sure none of that conflict and friction comes in the way of life? And I thought I was going to be pulling out cards, but for some reason it's not coming through. Okay. So, whichever direction that you're moving in, I feel like this is also something that you're playing with where you're contemplating on your dynamics and the situations and where you are currently. And you're also noticing that the way that life has showed up for you and everything, that you're doing the work, you're moving through it, and then you get frustrated again. You're like, where is it? Why is it not here yet? Um, I'm doing the work. I'm gonna be pulling out this card. It didn't necessarily fall out, but it kind of fumbled, so I'm gonna go with it. Death. So with this death, what I feel like is really this letting go of an old story. And so that also includes this frustration that you're feeling. This, why isn't it working out when I know that it should have worked out long ago? Of course it should have worked out. Of course it did work out. But did I end something prematurely? Is that what happened? Could I have made something work? Is that what it could have been? But the thing is, if things didn't play out the way that they have, you wouldn't be where you are currently with the skills, the knowledge, the wisdom, the strength, the power that you currently hold. You wouldn't have that. And so it is important for you to acknowledge the fact that you've grown so much, that you've come along this far in your life. Acknowledge that for yourself. Don't put yourself down for everything that you've done. You have done exactly what you were meant to do. You are destined to do this work. You are destined for a relationship far better than what you had experienced. And at every stage in your life, it's an experience. You will always be met by the places that you did not know that you had. So this could be limitations, anger, emotions, triggers that you didn't know you had because no one else has triggered it for you. No one else has brought this up to your attention. Because for them, it was something that was okay and normal, but for you, for this person, it isn't. And so that poses as a friction. And for some reason, they're not using that as an excuse to leave. They're still here with you, even though it's something that is causing discomfort for them. And so you're realizing what it means for you to exist with integrity, to exist with light, to exist with love, and to not only hold yourself accountable for your actions and for your life, to take radical responsibility, you're also being an exemplary candidate. That's not the right word, but let's just go with that. An exemplary person that shows this is how we do it here. and the person that you are with is also learning with you. So it's either this is a relationship and a dynamic that you are currently moving through, or that you are going to have. So take it in the way that it feels right for you. And let's see, is there anything else that Goddess wants to speak through at this time? So also with that death card, I have to show it to you. You see how the hand is being moved, is moving this curtain, and the arm that's sticking out is different from the reflection that is being uh, shown through the veil. To what extent are you stepping into this dynamic, into getting to know someone when they're not the person that you have perceived them to be? They are different. They're a lot more approachable, a lot more reasonable. You're able to actually reason with them and have that conversation with them. To what extent have you been resisting these conversations when you could have resolved a lot of things long, long ago, but you let it build up? Please don't take that as a sense of being highly self critical, but to give yourself the grace and compassion to move through it and to take it up as an opportunity now for you to not only meet yourself but to meet the person that you're with, and to put down and notice the limitations and the stories that you have, to put down that face, to put down that guard, to put down that sword, that intellectualized protective force. Put it down to surrender. And now, one other thing with surrender. Please, surrender is not something passive or weak. You are actually far more powerful when you surrender, because it is with power that you surrender, with inner power, with resilience that you surrender. It takes quite a bit of resilience to have the capacity to go through an experience and to go inwards. It requires a different muscle, a different way of being and existing. And this goes beyond being the sacrificial lamb and being a martyr. It goes far beyond those concepts, those archetypes. I'm just gonna shuffle these cards a little bit more before I move on to another deck. Um, I feel like there's a true love story that's coming through. So whether this is a love story that's more of an internal love story, a love story with yourself, or it's a love story with a partner that you are currently with, or that you have already met, or someone that you are going to meet. I am going to be focusing a little bit more towards a partner that you are going to meet. Please take the little bits and pieces of information that makes the most sense. The other little parts, leave it behind. And if this doesn't apply for you, then it doesn't apply for you. But this specific love story that you're experiencing and you're going through with this person, or that you're going to be having, this new love story, you're really discovering a whole new way of living and existing, a whole new way of experiencing life. You have put down a lot of the limitations that you've had, a lot of the resistance, the sensation and feeling that you've had of being blinded, not being able to see and think clearly because you just couldn't tell what is real and what isn't. All of that is coming down. All of those stories are actively coming down. You are actively moving through those stories and limitations, those blocks, right? And so, with you moving through these blocks, you're also noticing that the people that you're connecting with, whether it be in person, it's just like conversation, a random conversation that gets stricken and you just start talking, or it's just like type of conversations you're having with your girls, or your friends, or your boys, whichever conversation it is that you're having, you're noticing that it's different. Yes, it's with the same people. It sounds like the same conversation, but it just hits differently. Your understanding of what you're saying is different. Your understanding of the way that you've been blocked and held back is different. You're learning about yourself. You're learning about your own self that you have judged and deemed as inadequate and boring and stagnant and dull. You are actively learning, and that's a lot of fun. It's challenging, but it's a lot of fun. The Six of Wands, and you also have the Hermit. And so, first, I'm going to speak about the Six of Wands and then move into the Hermit and how that ties in with this. So, with the Six of Wands, what I feel like is it's a true victory. All the work that you've been putting through. So, this is pretty much acting as a confirmation. All the work that you've been putting through, all the internal work that you have been putting through is coming true. It is coming to light. You are being shown what you are needing to bring in this new partnership, this new love, this new excitement, this new endeavor, this new journey. You don't know the details, and for the first time, all you are asking is to be well equipped to go on this journey, to actually be surprised, to fall in love, to watch and have this love story unfold. Either you are going to have this experience or you are being reminded that to open up and let yourself have this love story come through. Let yourself fall in love with life. Fall in love with your partners. Fall in love with, I didn't mean plural, but if that's the case, and that's the case, but to fall in love, to fall in love with yourself, to be shown who you are through different eyes, through different lens, to let your person show you who you are, but not to define you and for you to take that as the only face value of what it means for you to be you. But it's just to acknowledge that you are this abundant, holy, full self. Let yourself sink into that. Sink into the worthiness that you know that you have. Work through your limitations and your journey of life. You're here, you're available, you're open, you are guided in the best way possible to do this work, to move through this, to live so much more in light, in love, in beauty, in excitement. You're learning about love in a way that you never thought was possible. It's this love story that you have dreamt about, that you fantasized about over and over and over again. And you finally are opening yourself up to it and accepting it. accepting all of what this love story has to offer you, all of it, and then some more. And I feel like this is going to be the ending to the best life that you possibly could have had, that you possibly could have felt and enjoyed and savored. The journeys and the destinations that you are both going to go on and explore life, to get to know depths of yourself, to be met with friction, to be met with life, to be met with joy, to be met with pleasure, to be met with curiosity. All of this is coming up. It's washing over you. You're already getting little glimpses of it. You've been having these little glimpses of this sensation, this movement, this momentum, and you're being filled by it. You're being enlivened and filled and enriched by life, that beauty. It's something quite magical. That love story, that beauty is, it's beyond this world, beyond this imagination, beyond your imagination. Congratulations. That's what I feel like is necessary right now, is to congratulate you on what you are living and moving through. Sorry about that. So I just feel like there's a little bit more that wants to come through. And I'm going to be pulling out some cards from Secrets of the Ancestor Oracle deck. Oh wow, I have not touched these cards in a while now. And just feeling the force and the energy infused into it. It's something quite magical. I love working with ancestors. It just, there's so much life to them. There's so much wisdom that they hold. There's something that they've experienced that kind of gets mimicked in the way that we live our life too. Um, and so, why that's being important and focused on right now is that the life that you move through, the journey that you go through, the patterns, the habits, we learn from the people around us, especially during our most receptive years, our the years that our brains are being shaped and formed and calcified. Those patternings are what we pick up on. And so whatever gets passed down, our habits and behaviors, our expressions and natural inclination to react, all of these behaviors keep getting passed down until you interrupt it and begin to choose differently. And so, to what extent are you mimicking and expressing and behaving the behaviors that your ancestors may have had? You may or may not know to what degree that is. But right now, this little part that is coming through is to help you understand what that possibly could be. And it may or may not resonate, but please do take this with discerning ears. And so, creation of fire. Oh, sorry, creature of fire. My bad. Creature of fire. So with this card, it's it acts as the page of wands, or is it the? It's not the page. It's the one after. What is that card? It's the most fiery, momentous horse energy. It's pretty much, yeah, it's a lot of fire that's moving through you, pretty much. And so, this fire that you have, this black and white of behavior that you've been having within your relationships and saying this works, this doesn't, you have to behave and operate in this manner, and if you don't, then nah, it ain't gonna fly. That rigid way of being, it is important to be rigid in certain aspects, but to other extent, to other degrees, no. And so being discerning of that and acknowledging that is what is necessary. Acknowledging where you have been a little bit aloof, a little bit a little bit, what is it? A little bit too, I want to go this way, I want to play in this little place, and I don't want to be tied down. That way of being and thinking, that lack of, what is it, structure and discipline, right? It's to do the monotonous things and to still find the joy and the pleasure and the life in that monotonous way of living. The thing is, to a certain degree, it is for someone, and to a certain degree, it is not. And so please respect your journey that you're on. And I feel like that's what's being called for. To know when to apply it and to know when to keep moving forward with such force and vigor and life. To choose the sense of freedom, right? Choose freedom within yourself to move, to breathe, to be alive, to be moved by the things, the boundaries that have kept you safe, to feel the discomfort of that. Now, why is that important at this moment? I'm going to be pulling out some tarot cards to clarify it a little bit. But why is that important? I feel like the importance of it comes from this place of, um, you need a little change of pace because you've already asked to go on this new journey, this new love story. And so you're trying to either create a different type of dynamic in relationship. And so that means for you to open up a little bit, open up to yourself, to let yourself have a little bit more fun. This doesn't mean having an open relationship and having multiple intimate partners, sexual partners. It has nothing to do with that. That's not what this is calling for. But it's having fun, being playful with yourself, with your life, and doing different activities, meeting different types of people that you may have not chosen. You may have deemed them as being boring or quiet or timid, and really it's just a different pace. And you know what? That pace of life, that pace, that person might be the medicine for you, might be what you need. And it could be that you're stepping into a dynamic that's short term, that is short lived. So let's see, why this card is really coming through and why you're being asked to, um, change things up a little bit in your guides, in your guidelines of how to click and connect with someone. Feel like you've tried different dates, and some worked and some didn't, and some just kept talking and you're like, this isn't for me. Like this just, you're just not feeling it. And so I really want to see what this fire is, this chosen freedom that is being asked of you. What part of you wants to be free and liberated? The thing is, this freedom and liberation, it's not a true freedom necessarily. It's more of, um, it's not like anything and everything goes, but it's to do that with structure, to do that with boundaries. Because when you just allow yourself to move without boundaries, if anything, you'll close up. You'll be so resistant to letting something in because you don't know where the boundaries are. And when that happens, you're someone that's very perceptive and you understand that it may not end well and that it will probably harm someone because I have to get going. But yes, because you are pushing through something. So I'm just gonna quickly pull this out because I've got to get going. And I've been just talking up a storm here. Okay, come on. All right, let's see what is being asked of this collective to loosen up, to free, to freedom. I am just gonna split. Oh, you get the Ten of Cups. And so with the Ten of Cups, what I feel like is, oh, and then the Queen of Cups as well. So the Ten of Cups, Queen of Cups, you're freeing your deepest desires. The Three of Swords, you have been intellectualizing a lot of the desires that you have had, and it's come up as resistance, and you're finally letting yourself have it. You're finally letting yourself have the thing that you've been holding yourself back on and wondering, is it okay that I even have these thoughts and desires? How can I have it? Is it actually okay? Can I giggle this way? Can I move this way? Can I dress this way? Can I look this way? Can I desire this thing? Is it normal for this? I feel like the partner that you're going to be meeting is going to say yes. Yes, it is okay for you to have this. Yes, you're in a safe place and you get to explore this with me. Yes, we are in an open dynamic that allows us to both be communicative. And if you are needing some more structure and boundaries, I am more than happy to provide that for you. And you're actually finally coming into a relationship that is reciprocal in nature. And you both complement each other and know how to work through life. And it's not just one person working through it and the other one just going about their day and as if everything is happy, dandy, wonderful when it actually isn't and they're not receptive or available or present enough for it. This person, this dynamic is perfect. It's ideal. It works. It is perfect in the way that you have wanted. And the thing is, for some, it may be short, but I feel like for this specific collective that I'm speaking to, it is going to be a long term relationship, a long term dynamic. And so, with that little bit, I really hope that this clarified something for you and gave you a little bit of hope, a little bit of direction in which way to go and how to move about your day to day in your life and to affirm a little bit more of what you're building and growing towards. And so I wish you guys all the best. And I really hope that this provided you the structure and the support that you have been looking for and desiring. I wish you guys all the best, and I will speak to you soon.